阿弥陀佛，大家好！再次提醒大家，请大家将您的手机调为震动或者关机。还有，在西雅图雷藏寺有一项是依照雷藏寺往常的惯例，请第一次来或很久没有来参加同修的同门，请你们站起来自我介绍。但是呢，只要介绍您的法号，还有来自的国家及道场就好了，其他就不用多说，因为时间有限。感谢大家的合作，谢谢。请大家跪下，如果不能够跪的同门，请您站着合掌。师尊师母莅临时，我们一起齐声问候：师尊好，师母好，及大家好。我们一起齐声问候：师尊好，师母好，大家好。 大家起立恭敬合掌。恭请圣尊升法王座。请师母诸位上师上座，请法师同门善信大德就座。
We just welcome our lineage guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lin Sheng, to enter into the temple hall. According to the custom at this Lechang temple, we're inviting any of you who is here for the first time or have not been here for a very long time to please come, stand up and introduce yourself. Please say your name and where you came from.
欢迎，请问龙边还有没有要自我介绍的？
我从辽宁来，我叫毕文成，谢谢。
欢迎。
我叫莲花佳耀，我从沙江面度来。
欢迎。
师尊师母好，大家好，我们是从多伦多来的，我是莲花灵动。
欢迎。
师尊好，师母好，我是莲花 Amy， 我是多伦多来的。
师尊好，师母好，大家好，我是莲花解婷，大家好，谢谢师尊。
欢迎。请问龙边还有没有要自我介绍的？如果没有的话，请将麦克风传到虎边。虎边有没有同门要自我介绍？请站起来。
师尊好，师母好，上师好，各位好。弟子是莲花瑞观，从台湾台北永和莲盛。
I came from Taipei. Came from Canton, China.
大家好，我叫莲花小薇，来自广州，中国广州，欢迎。
From Canton, China. My name is Dienwa Enchi. Aloha. Anybody else? Kunming chapter. Also from Hong Kong. Also from Hong Kong. Welcome. I came from the Dominican Republic.
还有没有国际朋友呢？那我 我们也以热烈的掌声欢迎世界各地众上师、教授师、法师、贵宾同胞。
Let's applaud to welcome all participating masters, referents, and fellow disciples from all over the world. The group practice today is Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. Visualize true Buddha lineage. Namo Vairocana Buddha. Namo Buddha Lokana. Namo Padma Kumara. Namo Living Buddha Linshan. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. Recite the root Guru mantra.
Om Guru Lian Sheng Siddhi Hom. 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 念清净咒及安土地真言。Om
Purification mantras.
Om Siodori Siodori Siomori Siomori Soha. Om Vajradan He He Hom. Namo Samando Modaran. Om Duru Duru Dewi Soha. 念招请咒。
Recite invocation mantra.
Om Ah Hom Soha. Om Ah Hom Soha. 众弟子一心奉请。
We sincerely invoke the Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Linshan. The Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Linshan. Namo the Holy Red Crown Vajra Master, His Holiness Living Buddha Linshan. Namo Vairocana Buddha at the center. Namo Akshobha Buddha to the east. Namo Amitabha Buddha to the west. Namo Ratnasambhava Buddha to the south. Namo Amughasiddhi Buddha to the north. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Namo Medicine Buddha. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jade Pond. Namo Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Namo Padma Kumara. Namo Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. Namo Manjusri Bodhisattva. Namo Maitreya Bodhisattva. Namo Vajrasattva. Namo Kuru Padma Sambhava. Namo Mahachundi Buddha Mother. All Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities. All Buddhas of the 3 times in the 10 directions. All Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas. Namo Mahaprajna Paramita. Great homage using visualization. First to Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize full prostration. Release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize full prostration. Release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize full prostration. Release the mudra. Fourth half bow. Great mandala offering. Form the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings. To transform, to multiply, to fill the whole universe. Make the offering above the lineage of Guru, the main deity, Kwan Yin Bodhisattva, and all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Mount Meru, 4 continents, and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and merits purge our karma to all of our civilization. Forward refuge. Visualize our lineage with Guru, all the lineage Gurus, the Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form great white light to empower us. Recite the mantra.
Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. Namo Gurupe, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye.
Armor protection. Form Vajrapani mudra. Recite mantra 7 times. Recite Hiking Kwan Yin Sutra.
观世音真经，观世音菩萨，南无佛，南无法，南无僧，佛国有缘，佛法相依， 有缘佛法。南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是大神咒。南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是大明咒。南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是无上咒。南无摩诃般若波罗蜜是无等等咒。南无金光秘密佛、法藏佛、狮子吼神足幽王佛、佛告须弥灯王佛、法护佛、金刚闪狮子游戏佛、宝胜佛、神通佛、药师琉璃光王佛、普光功德山王佛、善住功德宝王佛、过去七佛、未来贤阶千佛、1500佛、万无千佛、500花胜佛、百亿金刚藏佛、定光佛、六方六佛名号：东方宝光月殿月妙真音王佛、南方树根花王佛、西方照王神通烟花王佛、北方月殿清净佛、上方无数精进宝手佛、下方上济月音王佛、无量主佛、多宝佛、释迦牟尼佛、弥勒佛、阿处佛、弥陀佛、中央一切众生，在佛世界中者，行住于地上，即在虚空中。此由于一切众生各令安稳修习，昼夜修持，心常求诵此经，能灭生死苦，消除诸毒害。南无大明观世音，光明观世音，高明观世音，开明观世音。药王菩萨、药上菩萨、文殊师利菩萨、普贤菩萨、虚空藏菩萨、地藏王菩萨、清凉宝山亿万菩萨、普光王如来化身菩萨，念念诵此经，七佛世尊即说咒言：离婆离婆地，求呵求呵地，陀罗尼地，离合那地。毗尼尼地、摩诃迦地、真灵城地、娑哈，离婆离婆地、求呵求呵地、陀罗尼地、离合那地。毗尼尼地、摩诃迦地、真灵城地、娑哈，离婆离婆地、求呵求呵地、陀罗尼地、离合那地。毗尼尼地、摩诃迦地、真灵城地、娑哈，离婆离婆地、求呵求呵地、陀罗尼地、离合那地。毗尼尼地、摩诃迦地、真灵城地、娑哈，离婆离婆地、求呵求呵地、陀罗尼地、离合那地。毗尼尼地、摩诃迦地、真灵城地、娑哈，离婆离婆地、求呵求呵地、陀罗尼地、离合那地。毗尼尼地、摩诃迦地、真灵城地、娑哈，离婆离婆地、求呵求呵地、陀罗尼地、离合那地。毗尼尼地、摩诃迦地、真灵城地、娑哈。念7遍往生咒。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他迦多耶，多得亚他，阿弥利多婆毗，阿弥利多舍当婆毗，阿弥利多毗迦难得，阿弥利多毗迦难多，迦弥利迦迦那，智多迦利娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他迦多耶，多得亚他，阿弥利多婆毗，阿弥利多舍当婆毗，阿弥利多毗迦难得，阿弥利多毗迦难多。迦弥利迦迦那，智多迦利娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他迦多耶，多得亚他，阿弥利多婆毗，阿弥利多舍当婆毗，阿弥利多毗迦难得，阿弥利多毗迦难多。迦弥利迦迦那，智多迦利娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他迦多耶，多得亚他，阿弥利多婆毗，阿弥利多舍当婆毗。阿弥利多毗迦难得，阿弥利多毗迦难多，迦弥利迦迦那，智多迦利娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他迦多耶，多得亚他，阿弥利多婆毗，阿弥利多舍当婆毗，阿弥利多毗迦难得，阿弥利多毗迦难多，迦弥利迦迦那，智多迦利娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他迦多耶。多得亚他，阿弥利多婆毗，阿弥利多舍当婆毗，阿弥利多毗迦难得，阿弥利多毗迦难多，迦弥利迦迦那，智多迦利娑哈。南无阿弥陀佛耶，多他迦多耶，多得亚他，阿弥利多婆毗，阿弥利多舍当婆毗，阿弥利多毗迦难得，阿弥利多毗迦难多。迦弥利迦迦那，智多迦利娑哈。首节根本传承上。
perform the lineage root Guru Mudra.
观想根本传承上师三。
Visualize the empowerment of the three lights.
持根本传承上师心咒108遍，先做持念珠。
Recite the lineage root Guru mantra 108 times. First perform mala visualization.
持咒 Om Guru 莲生悉地 Hom 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 Om Guru 莲生悉地 Hom。
Form the lotus mudra. First visualize the void, recite the mantra.
Om Sopawa Sutta Sawa Dharma Sopawa Sutto Hang. Om Sopawa Sutta Sawa Dharma Sopawa Sutto Hang.
Visualize in the space there's a blue lotus. At the center, a white sit syllable radiating white light. The sit syllable devolving to become a white Kwan Yin Bodhisattva, seated on a lotus throne, wearing celestial garments with ornaments, look very compassionate and radiating infinite boundless light. Also visualize the six-syllable mantra devolving around the Bodhisattva, radiating light. Visualize that her right hand is holding a vase of nectar that becomes an arch of white light that enters into practitioners through the tip of the head, eradicating all the black karma to become black smoke and expelled through the skin pores. Then visualize your whole body becomes crystal clear and feel really calm and at peace. Then visualize Kwan Yin Bodhisattva moves to the top of your heads, becoming smaller and smaller. And then visualize at your heart there's a lotus blossom with the moon disk and the three sit-syllable radiating light. And Kwan Yin Bodhisattva entered into your body through the central channel. And in a split of a moment, you become Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. Recite Kwan Yin Hat Mantra 108 times.
持咒 Om Mani Padme Hum 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 做9节佛
Perform 9 cycle Buddha breathing, enter into samadhi.
加持八大本尊心咒及念佛。
We say the mantras of the invisible deities.
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Padmo Ding Tho Ding Soha. Om Ha 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 Wei Samo Ye Soha. Om Chali Chuli Chun Thi Soha. Om Champala Chadang Chada Ye Soha. Om A Hum Pesa Guru Pe Ma Siddhi Hum Se. Om A Hum Guru Pe Ahu Sasamaha Lian Sheng Siddhi Hum. 德亚塔 Om 贝卡西亚贝卡西亚玛哈贝卡西亚拉萨萨摩卡德利亚索哈。南无36万亿119,500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿119,500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿119,500同名同号阿弥陀佛。 共念大救难咒21
We say the mantra for just the relief 21 times.
他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。他吃查查那他吃鲁罗的玛哈鲁罗的阿达摩达多达梭哈。回向愿同
Out
念
of dedication,
同
may
生
all
净
uphold the
土
Buddha,
上
ascend to the realm of
菩萨
utmost bliss,
下
looking
行
for
三
generosities from
见
above,
佛了
aiding
生
those in
死
the three
苦
realms
果
below.
度一
Upon seeing
切。
the Buddha, may we transcend life and death.
请大
Like the
家起
Buddha, may
念
we
祈
liberate
福，主
all.
事起
We
愿。
cite the supplication for His
最
Holiness
土
the
要
Sustained
是
Saha
世
Lord.
尊秘密
I pay homage and
十八
supplicate
世
His
界
Holiness the
三
virtuous
成
and
就
marvelous Tantrika,
那
all
没有
Buddhas
其
with the 10
太
corrections
微
of the
作
Buddha
为
lands as
法，
numerous as
教
grains
金
of sand,
刚
all
性
Bodhisattvas
体
who are full of
世
compassion
间
toward all
三
beings,
世
all
上业
Herukas,
圆
Dhammapas,
满，
Dakinis,
身心
protectors
追
of
责
Dharma.
轮
The
回，
nights are
苦
long, the 3
修
portions
世
are
尊
poorly
密言
fading.
降生
My body
苦
and soul are
集，
stricken,
三
tumbling in the
宝
misery of
为是
perpetual
为
rebirth.
护
With
群
great
生，
compassion, His
圆
Holiness
圆
came to
普
this world
贤
to
受
salvage
益
deluded
金刚
ones.
身，
The
色
creature was
界
eminent,
传法
born as
灌
light,
顶
who
四
provide
季
refuge
地，
for all.
佛子
All
祈请
fortunate
诸
beings,
世
human and
传
those in
法
heavens,
门，
rely on
为
His
乐
Vajra
无
body
边无
for
尽，
the
众
bestowal
生
of the
界。
teachings, vows, precepts, empowerment, and
弟子
attainments.
祝
We
得愿以
disciples of
此
Buddha
同
plead
修
that you stay in
的
this
回
hour to
向，
turn the
祈
Dharma
愿
wheel to
世
benefit
尊
and give
佛
happiness
体
to
安
multitudes of
康，
sentient
长
beings.
寿自在，
We
长
dedicate the
久
merit of
世
this
间，
good practice
永
to our
传
lineage, good
法
Guru.
门。
May he stay healthy,
恭请世尊
continually
做
turn the
回
Dharma
向。
wheel to benefit all sentient beings, and may all be auspicious. homage to the greatly compassionate Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. Wholeheartedly, we pay homage to the main deity of group practice, the greatly compassionate and merciful Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. Wholeheartedly, we pay homage to the main deity of the group practice, the greatly merciful and compassionate Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. We pray to Kwan Yin Bodhisattva to guide the Bardo spirits to be reborn into the pure Buddha lands. We pray to the compassionate Kwan Yin Bodhisattva to bless all participants with great health, that all goes according to our wishes, all calamities transform into auspiciousness, and that we stay committed in our spiritual cultivation. And also, please bestow the boundless radiance upon us. Please bestow fruition in our spiritual cultivation. Please bestow great health and longevity. We pray to the compassionate Kwan Yin Bodhisattva that bestow help upon hearing and deliver us from all calamities. May all be auspicious and we are all in great harmony. We pray to the greatly merciful and compassionate Kwan Yin Bodhisattva to eradicate all of our karma, to increase our good fortune, and to increase our wisdom. May we have attainments in our spiritual cultivation and improve fruitions. May all of our prayers be granted. O gods of the heavens, gods of the earth, may we be far from all calamities. May all calamities abandon us. Let all disasters turn into dust. May all enemies and enmities disperse. We say 100 silver mantra 3 times. Pay homage using visualization, first to the Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration. Release the load. Second row bodhisattvas. Visualize for prostration. Release the load. Third row Herukas and Dharma protectors. Visualize for prostration. Release the load. Fourth row. Reset completion mantra. Now let's applaud once again to show our utmost gratitude to His Holiness for His blessing to His group practice. Now let's join our palms and together we're inviting His Holiness for a precious Dharma teaching. Homage to the lineage gurus. That we always carry our lineage gurus on top of our heads. The Venerable Mang Liao Ming, Master Sakya Chen Kung, the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, and Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of group practice today, the greatly compassionate Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. Sumu, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, all disciples present here and over the internet, and our participating VIPs today from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Taiwan, the Secretary General Daniel Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy. Accountant to the True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa. CTI TV Taiwan producers for 给你点上新灯 Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi. The Taiwan legislator Cai Chi-chang's representative, Ms. Chen. Dr. Ryan Zhuang. Dr. Zhou Heng. Dharma Brother Gao. From the Taiwanese Sunny Line Dancers, Miss Lin Yixuan. And Dharma Sister Wu Meixian. The assistant to the former Vice President Li Xiulian, and also the PR Director of the International Businesswomen Association chapter, Ms. Xue Huilin. She's also part of the line dancers. But her title is the longest one. So the main deity for the group practice today is Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. And in Buddhism, Kwan Yin Bodhisattva is the most famous And also can be said that she is the greatest bodhisattva.
自从有这个佛教到现在，一个佛是最有名的，就是阿弥陀佛。
Throughout the time for Buddhism, the most famous Buddha is Amitabha Buddha, and the most famous Bodhisattva is Kwan Yin Bodhisattva, or Lokaswara Bodhisattva, or Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. So, and Kwan Yin Bodhisattva includes many, many Bodhisattvas. That's why in reciting the Hiking Kwan Yin Sutra, we would say that Kwan Yin of the 10 directions and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, which mean 10 directions, meaning up, down, and the 8 directions, which mean everywhere there is Bodhisattva. So altogether 10 directions. And up is infinite, and down is also infinite, and the 8 directions also infinite. So that's why we call it 10 directions. So the 10 directional Kwan Yin. So in Hiking Kwan Yin Sutra, we often say the great radiant Kwan Yin, the high King Kwan Yin, and then 2 more. And the observantly Kwan Yin. So there are 4 different Kwan Yins. In the Hiking Kwan Yin Sutra, I only remember them in Taiwanese, but in Mandarin, I cannot recite it, cannot memorize it. So in Taiwanese, I'm very fluent at it, but in Mandarin, sometimes I would forget. It's a matter of habit. So in Hiking Kwan Yin Sutra, there are 4 Kwan Yins, Bodhisattvas mentioned there, and there are many more. It's innumerable. Actually, Hayagriva was also an emanation of Kwan Yin. And the white Mahakala with 8 arms is also an emanation of Kwan Yin. And there are also many Herukas and Vidyarajas, the wisdom kings, who were manifestations of Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. And also a lot of gods were also manifestations of Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. And my mother, as I remember it, she was one of Kwan Yin's Bodhisattva's bird, the peace bird. We have like a little shrine in Taiwan that above is Kwan Yin Bodhisattva, below is Ma Zhu, or sometimes they are on 2 sides, Kwan Sen Di Jun and at the center Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. And then above Kwan Yin Bodhisattva there was a bird that is holding a chanting bead, and that bird is called the Great Harmony Bird. And my mother was a manifestation of the bird. That was the past of my mother, the past life of my mother. And I have seen many Kwan Yin Bodhisattvas. I had lots of visions of Kwan Yin Bodhisattvas, and they're all different. But every time she appeared to me, it signified auspiciousness. Typically speaking, Kwan Yin Bodhisattva is primarily for compassion. In Tantrayana, there are 3 reliances. If Kwan Yin Bodhisattva is at the center, then on the other side is Manjusri Bodhisattva, and the other side is Vajrapani Bodhisattva. And Kwan Yin Bodhisattva represents compassion, and Manjushri Bodhisattva represents wisdom, and Vajrapani Bodhisattva represents Dharma power, a kind of power. So in practicing Tantric Buddhism, we need to remember these three reliances. And what does it mean? The three reliances are the three Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that you can rely on. And one is the compassionate Kwan Yin, and the wise Manjushri, and the powerful Vajrapani. So you rely on these three deities, and they're called the three reliances in Tantrayana. They're of the highest rank. They're highly esteemed. So Kwan Yin Bodhisattva in the past was also a Buddha and was called Zeng Fa Ming Ru Lai, which is the correct Dharma, radiance Tathagata. And now he manifested as Bodhisattva, Kwan Yin Bodhisattva, because the Bodhisattva is delivering sentient beings. So Buddhas are perfect and Bodhisattvas are compassionate. Bodhisattvas are delivering or salvaging sentient beings. And Kwan Yin Bodhisattva is the leader of the 8 great Bodhisattvas. So Kwan Yin Bodhisattva is the first and foremost, number one, and Ichibang and Skoi. And there are also other manifestations in Tibet. She manifested as the four-armed Kwan Yin, or called Chenresik. 2 arms are joined together holding a mani jewel that can transform numerously, and the other hand is holding a chanting bead mala, and the other hand holding a lotus. So she has 4 arms, and the mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum. And there are also 1,000 eyes, 1,000 arms Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. That's even more supreme. So if we have 1,000 eyes and 1,000 hands, if a human being can have those, that will be much more convenient. Then when I write my books, then it would be very fast. So with 1,000 eyes, you can see everything, everywhere. That in your palm, there's an eye. And green Tara and white Tara are also emanations of Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. When Kwan Yin Bodhisattva was compassionate, he shed 2 drops of tears, and 1 drop of tear became green Tara, and the other drop of tear became white Tara. And we all know about green Tara. And white Tara was also called the Buddha Mother with 7 eyes. 1 eye at the brow, at both palms, and at 2 soles of the feet. That's 5. Oh, and the normal eyes. So together, 7 eyes. So she is called the 7-eyed Buddha Mother. So if you see a Buddhist image with 7 eyes, then that would be white Tara. And white Tara is primarily for longevity and wisdom
这个吉祥的，
and auspiciousness.
有白度母，另外还有白衣观音。
So, and there's also the white robe Kwan Yin. There's Kwan Yin with 11 faces.
其实11面观音也称为佛。
Why
千手千眼观世音
do we have Kwan Yin with 11 faces? Because that's the same as Buddha. And also thousand eyes, thousand armed Kwan Yin is also Buddha. Because in the Bodhisattva hood, there are 10 grounds. And Kwan Yin with 11 faces,
就是叫做11面观音。
she is called the 11th face Kwan
立
Yin.
起来的话，就代表11地。
If she is standing, then that represents the 11th ground.
11面就代
But Bodhisattva hood has 10 grounds.
第10地呀，就叫等觉。
So the 10th ground is called the equal awakening. And then the 11th ground is called the marvelous awakening. And that's the same as Buddhahood.
也等于是佛。
So thousand eyes, thousand armed Kwan Yin and the 11 face Kwan Yin are the same as the Buddhas.
观世音菩萨的化身。
And Mahachundi, Buddha Mother, was also an emanation of Kwan Yin.
菩萨，他也
Mahachundi has 11 arms.
马头明王、
Hayagriva,
丈夫都属于观世音菩萨。
天人丈夫
还有宜兰观音啊，宜兰观音。
and the Yilang Kwan Yin.
很多
Kwan Yin with 4 faces. There are many, many manifestations of Kwan Yin Bodhisattva.
众生啊，闻声救苦。
So her deliverance of sentient beings
救苦救难。
is would help all disasters, calamities, and will always help upon hearing upon it with great compassion and mercy. There were lots of Vietnamese refugees. As they get on the boat, they would recite the Kwan Yin Bodhisattva, and they would be floating on the ocean, and they felt that they were saved by Kwan Yin Bodhisattva, and they all chanted Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. So in the Buddhist world, Kwan Yin is the greatest Bodhisattva, number 1, and the greatest one. So we can call her as the number 1 Bodhisattva. There are many people who have Kwan Yin as their yidam, or their personal deities. And there are also many people practicing the smoke offering of the Chenrezig. So the emanations of Kwan Yin Bodhisattvas are innumerable. And they are with great compassion. In reciting the sutra, I often recite these 2 verses in the Universal Gate Sutra. That's the verse from the Universal Gate Sutra that I often recite. That's how I chanted it. So Kwan Yin Bodhisattva is truly famous. She's truly the number one Kwan Yin, Sugoi Kwan Yin. And we know in Tantric Buddhism, green Tara and white Tara are the very famous manifestations of Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. Lots of people pray to Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. And in the Golden Mother Sutra, it was also mentioned. They also mentioned Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. And at that time, she was called Cihang Daoren. Cihang Daoren. There are lots of temples in Taiwan that's called the Cihang temples. Or Cihang Da Si, which is the great master of compassion in Taoism. So they are actually also Kwan Yin Bodhisattvas. So she's a really great Bodhisattva. If she is your yidam, your personal deity, you would obtain auspiciousness and you would have fruition in your spiritual cultivation. So Kwan Yin Bodhisattva of all directions, all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas vow to help all sentient beings and transform all disasters. I went to a temple and there was a Kwan Yin Bodhisattva with lots of arms. And she's really Faxing Chansi, the Zen temple there, has a really beautiful Kwan Yin. It's above Chinatown, Faxing Chansi. Peliang. Because Peliang has been in Chinatown for a long time, right?
我那一次去法心禅寺是跟悟明长老去以前中国佛教会的理事长，他悟明长老来。
I went there with Wu Ming长老。
来参访，就是到我这边来。
The leader of the Wu Ming长。
他要去拜访法心。
And he visited me here in Seattle, and then he also wanted to visit the Zen Faxing Zen temple. And in the past, there was Xintian Reverend that had many famous spiritual centers in Tainan. So one of the chapters is called the Faxing Zen Temple. And the monk changed name into Xuandeng Fashi. So Wu Ming Changlao and I visited this Faxing Chansi. So now let's continue on the Great Perfection Dharma. I have seen with my own eyes Kwan Yin Bodhisattvas. And the one I saw was unforgettable. I've told you before. I saw her back, and then all of a sudden, she turned. It's just as she was leaving, she turned her head. When I saw her face and her outfit, wow, she was truly beautiful. It doesn't exist in this world. Very beautiful, perfect. It's unforgettable. very, very beautiful, very dignified.
人间不可能有。
Impossible to find in this world.
我们谈一下密教的。
Now let's continue on the Great Perfection Dharma.
那观世音菩萨，我就知道。
When I saw Kwan Yin Bodhisattva, I knew that my problem would be resolved. Because every time she appeared, it's definitely auspicious. When I saw her appeared, I knew that my problems would be completely resolved. In the Great Perfection Dharma, on page 56, in a split of a moment, I saw myself seated on a lotus throne, surrounded by thousands of other lotus thrones. And seeing the lotus thrones around me, it turned out I saw that on top of each of these lotus thrones, I saw myself seated on it. So it turned out that one of me in each throne. So thousands of lotus youths in a split of a moment attained Buddhahood. Just like Padma Kumara has a great number of manifestations, and now each of these manifestations goes around delivering multitudes of sentient beings. Let's talk about this part. I saw myself seated on a lotus throne. This is the most important point. If you see yourself seated on a lotus throne, then you have hope to be reborn into the Pure Land. There are many manifestations of lotus youth. The kings of Shambhala, the first king was Manjusri Bodhisattva. The second king was the white lotus king. And he was a lotus youth of Padma Kumara. Guru Padmasambhava, or the lotus born, he was born out of a lotus, and he was too Padma Kumara, or lotus youth. And the precious mind youth, the supreme precious youth, were all Padma Kumaras. And the auspicious light youth was also Padma Kumara. So Mahamudra, actually the youth was also called Bodhisattva. So if you're well versed in the sutras, you would know that when you say Kumara or youth, that refers to Bodhisattva. Because a child or a youth is very innocent. And Bodhisattva is also very innocent. They are single-minded, or they have no mind whatsoever. Most importantly is you're single-minded. So that's why when I say single-mindedly, I pay homage, which means I use my naked, innocent heart to pay homage to the greatly compassionate Kwan Yin Bodhisattva. And lotus is truly precious. In Buddhism, lotus division refers to the division of Amitabha Buddha. So the leader of the lotus division is Amitabha Buddha. And in the Lotus division, you know, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are seated on a lotus throne. All Buddhas and all Bodhisattvas are seated on lotus thrones. And how many lotus youths are there? If you visit the Donghuang caves or the Qianhu caves, all the caves, in each of the caves there are lotus youths. In mainland China, in the introduction, they refer to it as lotus youth, Padma Kumara. So they even published a book on the research on lotus youth. Why do they want to research on this? Because it was very secret. The first time upon the opening of my divine eye, that night I went to the heavens and to the earth and to the Buddha lands. At that time, she told me already that you are lotus youth, Lianhua Tongzi. And I never heard of it. Before, I didn't know about this, and then afterwards, in studying Buddhism, never knew about lotus youth. And then later on, eventually, I came to know that there are many, many lotus youths, like the supreme precious youth and precious mind youth. When Sakyamuni Buddha was the King Ashoka, with the king with the. So the one that brought this king to see the Jingguang Tathagata, there were two youths appeared from the lotus. One is Bao Yi youth and the other one is Bao Sang youth, and told this king to, if you want to attain Buddhahood, you have to go see the Jingguang Buddha, or the Buddha with pure light, because that was at the time of the Buddha with pure light. So this Bao Yi youth and Bao Sang youth were the guiding teachers of the past life of Sakyamuni Buddha. So lotus youths were great, right? Because they were once the guiding teachers of Sakyamuni Buddha. See, I didn't know about this before, but after reading these books, it turned out that I was the guiding teacher of Sakyamuni Buddha, because at that time, you know, the Mahamudra of Tantrayana was transmitted by Adi Buddha to first the Bao Yi youth. And Bao Yi youth, or the precious mind youth, was actually also a lotus youth. So the first patriarch below Adi Buddha, that would be lotus youth. So I was the first patriarch of Mahamudra. And Great Perfection Dharma, Guru Padmasambhava brought Great Perfection Dharma to Tibet at the reign of King Trizong Tejin. and the king has 25 ministers, and they were all Buddhist followers. So these 25 ministers also studied Great Perfection Dharma from Guru Padmasambhava, including the king, Trisong Tejin. So at that time, Guru Padmasambhava, the king Trisong Tejin, and Shantarakshita built the first temple in Tibet, the Samye Temple. So the Samye Temple was built by these three people. So Guru Padmasambhava was definitely a lotus youth. No question about that. And the king Trisong Tejin was also lotus youth, because that was my previous life. And Jingming Da-si, I believe that was Santarakshita, that was Master Dukden Dorji. So Guru Padmasambhava transmitted Great Perfection Dharma to King Trisong Tejin and the 25 ministers and his 5 consorts. So King Trisong Tejin, well, of course, I'm still the patriarch of Great Perfection Dharma, the lineage guru of Great Perfection Dharma. And Guru Padmasambhava was also a lotus youth, and he was also a lineage guru. So that's why we call it a secret Buddha, because there were many masters in the Buddhist world that are not aware of it. That's why he was referred as the secret Buddha. So sometimes in the world it's hard to fathom this thing, and you will never know unless you're told. Let me share a joke. Xiaoming's father was very disciplined and disallowed to talk during dinner, during meals. But with the exception of Taiwan, of our Lizang temple, that at meal times it was like the market, everybody's talking. You know, look at the monks and nuns and the dining halls. Nobody's talking during meals. With the soup, a bowl of soup, a bowl of rice, and a bowl of dish. If you need anything, you just kind of gesture with your chopstick, and then there would be attendants that would add either rice or soup or dish for you, and you don't talk. They don't say a word. Even if they want more rice, they just perform a gesture. So that's how they eat. But for us, we talk. So Xiaoming's dad was very strict, and he disallowed talks during meals. And one day, Xiaoming was about to say something, and the dad said, "I told you, never talk during meals. Talk after you finish eating." So he's very strict. And after meals, Xiaoming said, "Dad, there was a fly on top of your dish." So there are lots of things that are secret, that cannot be said. but once told, everybody would know. So the one that I saw, Lotus Youth, was also the secret Buddha with pure light. And the secret Buddha with pure light was also the Adi Buddha. That's the greatest Buddha. He's completely light. He's just light. And he can transform into anything. So the Bao Yi youth, Bao Sang youth were all manifested by him. And Grandmaster too was also manifested. What?
You have mother and father. 你怎么变出来的？
How come you emanated?
母亲也不说。
You have a mother and a father.
父亲就说，那不是。
When I was born, mother didn't say anything, and father said, "You're not my kid. You're not my son."
我真的不知道我是谁生的。
So I don't know who my parents were.
父亲啊，认为我不错，学佛，到时候父亲也皈依我，母亲也皈依我，都不错。
My dad eventually approved of me in my Buddhist study, and they took refuge in me. My mother too, my father too. But my father never regarded me as his son. In my father's will, he wrote, oh, this is a secret. I shouldn't talk about it. But they're gone. So for Seng Yen Lu's part, because he has attainment, he is not given any part. So my portion of the inheritance was given to a foreign, an unrelated person. You know, I never called him dad. From small until marriage. And then Simu said, well, because he, you know, he nurtured you, right? So you should at least call him dad. And I felt really, really uncomfortable. And so I always called my mom, but I never called dad. So I was the same as Jesus. Jesus had a mother, Maria, and his father thought, you are my girlfriend and we are not married yet. How could you be pregnant and bear a child? Because she was pregnant by the Spirit. So Jesus went with Joseph to Nazareth. I learned it in Taiwanese for my Christian knowledge. So Joseph was a carpenter, and Jesus was the son of Joseph. But Jesus was not recognized by Joseph as his son. And it's the same for me. My dad did not recognize me as his son. So that's destiny. My destiny is very similar to Jesus. I was born all of a sudden impregnated by the Spirit. And when Jesus was born, there was stars shining on him. And when I was born, my dad took a flashlight and shone on me. And Jesus was born on a horse stable, and I was born in a chicken coop. And my Chinese zodiac was also chicken or rooster. I was in Jiayi's New Chouxi western part. And at that time, the American army was bombing above Jiayi's airport, and I was born then. So Jesus was born in a horse stable, and I was born in a chicken coop. Very similar, right? And my dad did not recognize me, and Joseph also did not recognize Jesus. So was impregnated by the Spirit. So, well, that's how Lotus Youth faith is. So there are thousands of Lotus thrones, and they're all Lotus Youths. So there are many people that have karmic connections here are also Lotus Youth. I really fall from the sky. This joke, I was sitting on the deck upstairs eating some scallion pancake. I heard people talking. A man said, "Can you be my girlfriend?" And the girl said, "If there are pancakes falling from the sky, then I want to date you." So the person on the upstairs and dropped the pancake and then said, "Okay, now go for it. That's all I could help you with." So Lotus Youth are these scallion pancakes that fall from the sky. They all come from heavens. There's something really amazing. When Bodhisattva told me that you are a Lotus Youth, so I went to visit many gurus, many masters of Mahayana Buddhism, like the Guru Li Bingnan at the center of Taiwan, from Ciming Temple, Seng Yin Fa Sư, 慈山寺正光法师，诸匪济士、诸匪 laity that edited the Bodhi magazine. I visited many masters or teachers of the temples, and I asked them, "Do you know of the Lotus Youth or Lotus Bodhisattva?" Nobody knew. And then later on, I knew that it was a secret Buddha. It was with secret status that would be delivering sentient beings in the future. Nobody knew then. And then when we went to Xi'an, to the Dunhuang caves, then inside the caves, inside each of the caves, there are Lotus Youths. Only then it came into light. It became known. Now everybody knows of this Lotus Youth. None of these masters or monks would believe that you would be able to see Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You must have become demon. You know, the Li Bingnan teaches that once the demon is with you for 3 years, you would be withered and die. I was scared. And the old lady Li Bingnan, the very famous lady Buddhist, he is considered a great lay Buddhist. And the Venerable Seng Yin is the great monk of the central Taiwan. And he just shook his head hearing about Lotus Youth. And Zheng Guang Fa Si believed a little bit, but the rest did not believe it at all. So in the Zhu Hui Lei, I told you, you don't believe it? Okay, let me show you. And Zhu Hui's wife was reciting the Mahakaruna Dharani, the Great Compassion Mantra, and then I showed him. My yin and yang eye. So his wife was continually reciting the Great Compassion Mantra. And I said, oh, no need for you to chant. I know you're chanting the Great Compassion Mantra. And then they told me, our guru was the teacher Li Bingnan. Why don't you go see him? So I went to see Li Bingnan. And Buddhas and Bodhisattvas told me that you need to stay committed in your spiritual cultivation. But I've asked everybody in the Buddhist world, and nobody knew of this Lotus Youth. I must have been tricked or cheated. And then Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva appeared to me and told me that I am also a Lotus Youth. Siddhigarbha said, you need to listen to me. You're at a crossroad now. And in the future, you would deliver many sentient beings. Now I know that Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva is my brother. So I'm truly majestic. I've been propagating Buddha Dharma in hell. Do you believe it? So Huiling, could you stand up? Who saw me propagating Dharma in the hell? My sister, my younger sister. See, Grandmaster Lu opened a class in hell and also perform Dharma ceremonies and give Dharma teachings. And I know there was another person there helped. Those are all the facts. So Lotus Youth on Lotus thrones, and there are thousands of them, and they all appear together, many of them. So we are all manifested. In this joke, a friend has this tattoo on his navel, a butterfly and a scorpion. But as he aged, his waist also enlarged, so the butterfly becomes a flying goose, and the scorpion becomes a lobster. And there was a lady that had a rose tattooed, And then because she gained weight, and so it became really large. And her friend asked her, "So why do you tattooed a cabbage on your body?" So as a human being, we change. So the lotus youth of the past, now it's not lotus youth anymore. Now it's a lotus elderly. In the past, Grandmaster has a lotus look, a youth look. When I was young, with the crop cut, when I made my Bodhisattva vow, did you see that picture? I look like a youth. When I received my Bodhisattva vows, they did not recognize that in the Buddhist world. So the Wuming Changlao was very suspicious whether I have made my Bodhisattva vows. When I went to Haimin Su, meeting the Wuming, the senior, the elderly, he brought a huge package and said, "This is for you, but you can take a look what it is. It's in a box." That was a test. Oh, he asked me to guess what's inside the box. So I told him, inside this box, I didn't open the box, I just said what I saw with my eyes. It's like paintings of mountains and water and houses and people and plants. So, and the Wuming Changlao said, "Okay, open it now." So I opened it. It turned out it was a book of stamps, because Wuming Changlao collected stamps. And inside it, there the presidential hall, there are people, Sun Yat-sen, Chiang Kai-shek. There are also butterflies on the stamp, or there are animals and plants, all kinds of stamps inside the album. So what I saw was right. So he wanted to see if there were marks, the incense marks on the arm. Because in the past, when you make the Bodhisattva vow, you have to make these marks with the incense. And I showed it to Wuming Changlao, and now can you see it? Can you see them? 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. No 4. So 3 marks for the Bodhisattva vow. Bisan Yen Si in Nantou, the temple in Nantou. And the precept monk is Hui San, Xuan Dun, and Ji Guang. Old monks, the 3 old venerables, were the one who bestowed the vows upon me. See, I had these marks here. It's been a long time. I made my vow when I was 26, and now I'm 71. And the burned marks are still there. So you need to go through lots of tests. And the tests for lotus youth are uncountable. And they all passed, but there would be more to come. Before I told you that there's a difference between before and after marriage. before marriage is a couple meet in heaven, and after marriage is you don't get along any day. It's rhyming in Chinese, but before marriage, I would die without you. I would die. After marriage, you would make me die. Before marriage, I love you the most, and after marriage, you harm me. And before marriage is that I love you so deep, and after marriage is I wish that you get on the ground. But Grandmaster is not like this. Grandmaster's zodiac is Cancer, so Grandmaster cares for his family the most. And let me add, the Cancer with the Cancer zodiac takes care of everybody. So that's why Grandmaster Lu never forsake any single being. Because every sentient being is a Buddha. Every sentient being is Padma Kumara, or lotus youth, or Mani Padme Hum.
非常感谢圣真的宝贵法语开示，请唱诵组准备。
We are truly grateful to His Holiness for this precious Dharma teaching. Tomorrow, Sunday, on July 26th, at the Rainbow Temple in North Bend, Washington, His Holiness will preside over Kala Chakra Homa Fire Offering Ceremony and confer the Kala Chakra corresponding empowerments. On July 30th, Sunday, 11 a.m. would be the 15th of the lunar month. There would be an offering puja at the Seattle Lechang Temple. On September 12th, Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Linwood Convention Center in Linwood, organized by Seattle Lechang Temple, there would be the annual Bardo Deliverance Ceremony of Amitabha Buddha, and for the first and only time, His Holiness will transmit the Dharma practice of the red, yellow, and white three celestial maidens spiritual consultation Dharma practice. And the Life Foundation ceremony will be held on September 20th, Sunday, at the Rainbow Temple. This Life Foundation practice will help you change your destiny, and by the power or the energy of the earth, it would help you add good fortune and to help with your life. You need to send in the Life Foundation items to the Rainbow Temple ahead of time, and for details, please check dbsn.org or dbsseattle.org. Now we'll be incanting Buddha Amitabha. We're inviting any of you who would like to take refuge in His Holiness and follow the spiritual cultivation of True Buddha School to please come forward to the center of the temple and personally receive the refuge initiation from His Holiness. If you're not present in person and would like to take refuge, please send a letter to the True Buddha Foundation and request for a remote initiation. Inviting His Holiness to consecrate Buddha images and to bless the Great Compassion holy water. And this ends the English meditation today.
三世一切诸佛，Om Ah Hum。二拜诸菩萨，Om Ah Hum。三拜诸护法金刚，Om Ah Hum。四平等一起手。同修会圆满吉祥结束了，非常感谢根本传承上师的大加持，感谢师母、诸位上师、教授师、法师同门善信大德的护持，谢谢大家，阿弥陀佛。We now conclude this live broadcast. Thank you for viewing.